get a little bit more heated discussion moving forward. And moving on to the next one, another divisional game between the New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills. Again, I know you just gave your reaction, but odd man out one more
Yeah,
time.
no, I mean it makes sense. I'm the odd
So,
man out. Yeah. As long as we got to get Jake for the Bills since we haven't heard from him. Um, but yeah, okay. I'll go. I will be taking the Jets. Uh, we know what their defense can do. We know offensively they're not the greatest. Zach Wilson is, very hit or miss. Uh, Brees Hall has been playing great though, so I think they'll look to utilize him a lot. And it's mainly just kind of my distaste for the Bills right now. Um, just kind of an embarrassing season right now, at least for Josh Allen. Maybe not necessarily for the whole team as a whole. Yeah, the injuries on defense have kind of been hurting them. Um, but yeah, mainly I'm really putting it on Josh Allen. Kind of really hasn't been playing to the expectations, to the caliber. Obviously, Braden had him as his early MVP, and just really hasn't lived up to it. And I'm sure a lot of people had him as the MVP. I think coming into the year, I honestly, I didn't have him as my MVP, but I could have, or I can't remember if I agree with you, but he was definitely up there as one of my like potential candidates. I can't remember if I had him as my for sure lock in, but um, he looked like he was poised to have a big year, and just really hasn't been playing that well. Turnovers after turnover every game, crucial moments, just bad decision making. And I think I can't remember a few weeks ago I definitely brought it up where in just some of those you know crucial moments, late late fourth quarter, big drives, whether it's playing from down or they're up and they're trying to maintain a lead. He's just making really bad decisions, and I really don't see it getting any better for the rest of the year. Um, I think we're gonna have a kind of an outlook for the Bills in another video, so I'll kind of save my thoughts on that for that vid. But yeah, for now, yeah, it's just really right now I'm betting against Josh Allen because I just don't like what I'm seeing from him, and I think it's just going to continue to get worse.
Yeah. So I mean, most part, Bryson, I do not disagree with you. To this taste, like you said, expectations for the Bills and Josh Allen have been sky high this offseason. Super Bowl, yeah, pretty much Super Bowl picked, and yeah, they just haven't lived up to any of the expectations and the standard that they've set for themselves. So ultimately, it comes down to which quarterback I think is better. Yes, he has been playing good, and I'll reserve judgment for the end of the year to see how he finishes this year. He really has been playing good. I think we all know that already, but I'm still gonna be taking him over Zach Wilson, and I do expect this to be a really close game. Obviously, the Week 1 matchup that was a great game, and that was when Rodgers got hurt. So yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit iffy on this one, but I'm gonna have to go with Josh Allen over Zach Wilson just because of that.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, it makes sense to bet on the better QB. I still think he's a good QB. I think next year. I mean, like I said, I think it's going to get worse, but I think next year he'll bounce back.
Yeah, I
I don't think
I
he's
think
like
he'll
washed, but I
no.
think for this
I mean,
season it's I don't know. I could be wrong, but right now I'm the way I'm seeing it play out is that it just doesn't get any better from here.
yeah, I'm with Jake. I'm riding with the Bills pretty much this whole year until if they ever face my Steelers. But other than that, I'm riding with the Bills, and I'm still a Josh Allen fan. We're gonna talk about their schedule later, so we can talk more about that later. How I view Josh Allen. We'll save that. Just keep your eye out for that video. Moving on to the next game. We got the Sunday night game now. Should be a good one. We got the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Denver Broncos. I'll start this one. I got the Vikings all said, like I've said this whole year. Josh Dobbs is the man, and I like taking the better quarterback in these matchups. So that was a stretch, but I like what Joshua Dobbs has been doing. I would like to see Justin Jefferson back out there. I know as of Thursday today, we recorded, he's limited participant in practice, so I see them maybe holding him out for one more week. So I don't see this as the game he returns. But I still think they've been kind of rolling on offense without him. Joshua Dobbs been putting up huge games for them, still moving the ball effectively on offense, and on defense, their defense has been kind of stepping up. Not a lockdown defense, but they've been making plays when they need it. And I'm a huge fan of Brian Flores, their defense coordinator. Did really great things with the Dolphins. Came to us and really changed our linebacker room. But looks like he's making another kind of change in this defense for the Vikings, who haven't been good in recent years, really. And they don't have the talent this year, and I think they're doing better than what people expected with who they had on defense. So I'll take the Vikings. Broncos, they've been looking really good, but I'm just going to go with the hotter team this game.
I don't blame you. You know, it hurts that I got to pick against Josh Dobbs and Brian Flores, but you know the astronauts gotta have to land back on Earth sometime. And I like that joke. No, that was pretty cheesy, but yeah, you know what I mean. Sorry. All hot starts, hot streaks, they all gotta come to an end. You know, not saying it's gonna just be he just drops a dud, but he's gonna come back to just settle down a little bit. So yeah, like you said, the Broncos have been playing better. I think they're on at least a 3-game win streak at least. Defense has been putting some things back together. You know, they're not what we thought they were, or what they were supposed to be, but they're figuring things out. And the offense is doing their job. They're scoring points. Russell Wilson has been playing a lot better. He's looking a little bit like Seattle Russ. Even with that touchdown to Sutton on Monday night. So I think we're going to have to go the Broncos on this one. Like I said, the streak has to end sometime, and I can kind of see it happening to the Broncos.
Yeah. Got anything to add, Bryson?
Not much. I agree with Brady on this. I think, it's kind of the battle of the hot streak. Who's hotter right now? I did like Brady mentioned the defense. Obviously, there were a bunch of concerns. The first 2-3 weeks, defense looked not too great, giving up a lot of points, and they kind of turned it around. And not too many big names, but they've been playing hard, playing smart, and making big plays, and kind of turned it around, kind of midway or early midway through the season. And I think the Broncos have kind of been playing from that underdog position, and these games they've been winning. They're seen as the underdog, and they kind of make the upset. But I feel like this game is more of like kind of an evenly fair matchup, and I just got to go with the hotter team, which I think is the Vikings right now.
I'm with you on this one, Bryson. So I got the Vikings, but definitely should be a good Sunday night football game.
Oh yeah.
I feel like the last few have been okay. This one seemed. I'm trying to think of the last few.
Last week was Raiders, Jets, and Jets. I forget who the Jets played again. The Jets were 2 weeks in a row, I thought.
No, the Jets had last week. 2 weeks ago, they had Monday. It was the Bengals Bills.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I mixed it up.
Right. Better than last week's game, at least. I think, expecting at least. But, yeah, should be a good one. And that will kind of wrap up. That will wrap up our predictions for Week 11, excluding our Homer pick games. So we'll move on to those now. And we'll start off with the best game, in my opinion. Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns. Um, we're all unanimous on this one, so I'll take it. We all got the Steelers, 6-3. Both of us 6-3. I just think we're the better team. I mean, news just came out that Deshaun's out for the season, so they're playing Dorian
Thompson Robinson. Yeah.
Thompson Robinson. I couldn't remember his last name. Last name. Dorian Thompson Robinson. And we know what. Gosh, why am I blanking? Mike Tomlin. Jeez. What Mike Tomlin's record is against rookie quarterbacks. I know we lost the one against Stroud earlier this season, but I still think we get this one done. Trying to implement him kind of on an early week. I don't know how much notice they got that Deshaun would be out this early, but or for the season. Yeah, I got the Steelers. We kind of picking up on offense. We finally got to see this run game going. I know to these guys' credit or happiness that Jalen Warren has been named a starting running back, not the starting running back. It's still a timeshare, but it looks like it's more. The title's out there for you guys, at least. It's the first step if you want to see Warren starting. But, yeah, I still think we get it done. Pickens, I think, is going to bounce back. He likes our game. He tends to have better games against the Browns. For whatever reason, we saw the catch he had last year. And Deontay Johnson is still getting back to healthy, building that rapport with Kenny. On the defensive side, still got TJ and Highsmith both going on incredible runs this season. The one fear I have that might change this game for us is our middle linebackers. We lost Cole Holcomb 2 weeks ago, and we lost Quan Alexander last week. So what we thought was a deep middle linebacker room is just really kind of shored up right now with having pretty much a young guy, Mark Robinson, and Cole Holcomb. No, not Cole. And Landon Roberts left. So we know what the Browns want to do. They want to run the ball. They've been successful still running the ball, even though it's kind of clear that's been their objective this whole time. And that Browns defense is still top in the league, but Tomlin finds a way, and I think the Steelers come out with another dub here. Secure them in that second place. If the Ravens lost, we would have been first, but I'll wait another week to say that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on this one. Rookie quarterback, we've seen how he did against the Ravens, I want to say. It was Ravens earlier on in the season. Pretty sure he'll play a little bit better than that, but still. Division matchup, hard-fought battle once again, but even if you guys get outgained, which I don't really see that happening this time, I'm still picking you guys.
I'm kind of just hoping it happens just to keep the streak alive at this point. Got anything, Bryson?
No, mainly just can't pick the Browns because of that rookie quarterback. So
Makes sense. I'm trying to see if I could force you to say something good about my team. Didn't work though. But we'll move on to a game that you actually want to talk about. We got the Seattle Seahawks versus the LA Rams. Let's throw it to our resident homer.
yeah, coming off a bye. Stafford's been practicing, looking like he's. I mean, I don't want to say 100%, but definitely, on track to play. Um, I think he was able to, the injury wasn't that extensive, and then the timing of did miss one game, but then the bye definitely kind of helped. So he'll be coming off a very important rest, and um, just the team as a whole is looking to bounce back. A few other players on defense coming back from injury as well. So just kind of the team as a whole being able to rest, get that bye weekend, come back healthy. Still no Kyron Williams, but I don't hate Darrell Henderson, and um, we still, you know, as long as we somehow find a way to get the run game going with whoever is in that backfield, I think we win games. And I know after kind of some rough games without Stafford, Cup and Nakua are looking to bounce back. And yeah, Aaron Donald tends to have big games against Seahawks. I mean, we know we've seen in the past Russell Wilson before he left, you know, definitely knows knows that feeling of Aaron Donald coming down at him. And we saw week one, you know, his impact on the field. Geno Smith, I'm sure everyone saw that or heard that clip of his reaction to Aaron Donald coming barreling down at him. So yeah, we tend to usually just kind of have big games against the Seahawks, especially defensively. So first one was in Seattle, and it was honestly one I honestly thought we could have dropped to them, but found a way to win in Seattle, which isn't an easy thing to do. So this one being at home, I think definitely helps our chances. And yeah, as long as Stafford comes back, I think we should be good. And I don't hate even if Wentz plays. Um, I'm sure by now he's probably gotten a little bit of a feel for the offense, not like last year Baker Mayfield, you know, getting trade or getting picked up and then basically flew to LA and the next day was playing. Kind of really had to learn everything on the fly. Didn't really get the chance to learn the whole playbook. Still won the game against the Raiders last year. Um, so I like our chances with either of them, but I'm pretty sure it's Stafford's leading right now in the right direction to starting, and I think they're looking to. I'm kind of doubtful the playoff hopes are there, but just to at least give the fans and just give the team the morale of finishing out the season strong. I think the whole team's looking to rebound, especially after some tough injuries, and I like our chances, especially coming off this bye. Everybody fully rest and fully healthy.
I think we're both taking the Seahawks in this one, right?
Yeah.
I'll let you take it.
I'll take this one.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I on question. I mean, they came off a bye week, so Matt Stafford should be healthy. If not, I would love to see Carson Wentz in the game. That's just my opinion, though. But I got the Seahawks. I think they're just a more complete team. I'm just scared because they're kind of an inconsistent team, in my opinion. But I think they're a better, more complete team. We know the weapons they have on offense with DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, again, Jake Bobo and Smith.
Say his
Jake Bobo,
name.
I always got to put him above him. But and then they still got Kenneth Walker and even Zach Charbonnet is looking really good right now. Kind of a two-headed backfield, which just helps Geno Smith, puts him in Geno in a spot where he doesn't have to be the one that entirely wins them the game or pushes that ball on offense, which is kind of the spot you want him to be in. Not having to play hero ball. So I like what the Seahawks are doing on offense. They've kind of been picking it up later in the season. I felt like they had kind of a rough start in the beginning of the year, but they've been getting out of games recently. And defense, a lot of young pieces are kind of putting it together. Still got Devon Witherspoon. I think Kobe Bryant. What is the other corner's name from last year they had?
Oh, Tariq Woolen.
Tariq Woolen. That's the one. Tariq Woolen, and then still got a lot of other playmakers on that defense. And Pete Carroll is still a great head coach. I think he's kind of forgotten at sometimes just because Seahawks haven't been the greatest team recently. But yeah, it should be a division game. It's going to be a tough one, but I think Seattle wants that revenge after week one, kind of getting embarrassed. So I see them putting up a better fight this week. Should be a good game.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a great game. It's always something with these two. Something surprising always happens. So
I feel like no matter how bad this NFC West is, this division games between you guys all are just always competitive. But yeah, this should be a good one. One of the better games on the slate, in my opinion. And yeah, with that, we'll move on to the final game, the Monday night game. Pretty sure everyone had this as the game of the year once the schedule was released, just because of who's playing in it, and it's going to be a rematch of last year's Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs.
yeah,
You know who's starting this one off?
yeah, like you said, everybody marked their calendars for this game. It's the one team I do not want to pick against ever again, but it's gotta happen sometime. So Eagles Chiefs. This one, man, I'm really not ready for this game. This is the one game I did not want to get to. Like I said, he broke my heart, man. Really broke my heart at that game. But I'm sorry. We'll get into it right now. Eagles. Well, obviously they lost Dallas Goedert last 2 weeks ago in the Dallas game, Dallas Cowboys game. I think they were really gonna miss him, but I think they can just funnel the target to AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. So that part maybe they won't miss as much, but especially in the run game, I feel like the Eagles will definitely miss him. The key to me, the Eagles need to establish the run. They've been they've been a good run team this year. I don't think they have been as dominant uh, as before, like the at least past couple of years. I know you have DeAndre Swift, so I think you kind of noticed it hasn't been that great. It's more short. Anything short is whatever they need, they'll get it. But just in general, they're not as explosive as they were. But main reason I think is because they are out with their right guard. So he's supposed to be coming back. If he comes back, I think they'll look a lot better, like how you've seen against Minnesota and Tampa. So that's what I'm expecting. I feel like that run game is really what they'll need um, to win this game. That Chiefs defense is really good, a lot better. This is pretty much the unit that's carrying them this year. Not Mahomes is still Mahomes, but I think everybody's acknowledged that this is his best defense for the Chiefs. I would say Mahomes just has to be himself, just distribute that ball all around. I can see this being a shootout, but nah, actually, I can't. I really can't see this being a shootout. It's not going to be that same high scoring game. I feel like their defense has really stepped up since that game. One of the better units in the NFL. One of the top defenses, I would say, even though they don't have all the superstars. So I'm kind of thinking this is like maybe in the 20s type of range. Really hoping that obviously I'm hoping we win and hoping that Jalen Hurts kind of just picks up where he left off in the Super Bowl, just running, throwing. See that happening, but this is definitely going to be a tough test. Continue the gauntlet that they've started. So Eagles win. They get the quote unquote revenge that everybody's going to be saying, but whether we win or lose this one, it doesn't really bother me as much because this isn't for anything. Obviously, it's not for anything, you know. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here if we win and say we should have won because that game's done with already. So. But I'll throw this to I think Bryson has the Chiefs in this one, right?
Braden, are you Eagles?
No Eagles.
Okay. Was there anything you wanted to add to that before I say?
I'll jump in now then, I guess. I'm with Jake on this one. I got the Eagles. They're not playing on a Google field that is overpainted on this time, so we won't see as much tripping. I'll say what you won't say, Jake, for you. But I like
Thank
what
you.
the Eagles done. I think they've gotten better from last year. I don't know if you guys are on track to have 4 rushers with 10 plus sacks again, but I still feel like they kind of gotten better this offseason. this year with adding Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, and then their picks from the last few years, which I've always kind of started falling in love with the Eagles picks. I'm not a fan of it, but I feel like their players are getting better. And on that Chiefs side, that offense doesn't scare me anymore. I feel like with Mahomes, I mean, Mahomes is Mahomes. You put him in a close game, I don't doubt he's gonna come out winning it. But I don't know. I just see you shutting down Kels as kind of just shutting down the offense. A lot of these times, these other playmakers just don't step up in these big moments, and they just can't be relied on. And I mean, that's why I was kind of calling for Patrick Mahomes to get traded for another weapon because they need someone else to rely on when Kels isn't having these games. And their run game with Isaiah Pacheco has been better in the last few weeks, but I still don't think it's a top run game that you can fully lean on. And this defense has been amazing. It's been keeping these Chiefs in the games, but I don't think they match up entirely well against these Eagles. And I don't think they do enough. I don't think they're better than the Eagles defense. So I'm putting my money on the Eagles defense making plays, especially being hungry after what happened last year.
Well, as I look at the Chiefs
Your Patrick
schedule,
Mahomes car.
and no, the Chiefs schedule, um, they really could be undefeated right now. Tough week one loss, no Travis Kelce, barely lost that one. With Travis, I see them winning it, honestly. Um, Lost to the Broncos. Patrick Mahomes, flu definitely impacted performance. Should win that game if he's healthy. Uh, like Braden said, their defense is really their strong suit right now, which is hasn't really been the case the last few years. Um, I mean, their defense was about average, but this is definitely the strongest their defense has ever been. And I mean, it's easier said than done shutting down Kelsey. Uh, as easy as it sounds, just on paper, I still think he's going to find a way to get this game. And Mahomes is Mahomes. And I do like the emergence of Rashee Rice. I think he's kind of slowly building a connection with Mahomes, and they're kind of getting, I feel like Mahomes definitely relies on him a little more than some of the other receivers, and it's somebody that he can kind of go to and doesn't have to put it all on Kelsey's shoulders. But yeah, I this is a tough one. As much as I think this is going to be a really good game, obviously, the narrative, probably game of the year. I just can't bet against the Chiefs. I think they're Super Bowl lock-ins almost at this point. And yeah, it's tough. This is just the worst game. I feel like, in terms of, like, I feel like the Eagles could take this one just as the storyline of getting their revenge. But put your tinfoil hats on. I think the refs are going to be a factor this game for the Chiefs.
I mean, they were last time.
So, yeah, if you're one of those people, like I said, get your tinfoil hats ready. Because, I think we'll see a lot of calls that might favor the Chiefs in this one. But, yeah, definitely going to be a great game. Pretty much a must-watch, no matter what team you're a fan of. This is just a game you can't really miss. Because this could honestly be a preview of the Super Bowl again. I wouldn't be surprised.
Definitely going to be a good game. Monday night
Yeah,
game, so all of
this is
America's eyes on them.
this is a real test for both teams, honestly. Like
Yeah.
best teams they're probably going to face all year for the test for the Chiefs defense, first test for the Eagles offense, probably everybody. Yeah, I'd say. I hate.
Great to see both these teams pretty much. I mean, you guys are all Goddard, but I see both these teams relatively healthy, so
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll eat in the slot though. We don't have a slot corner anymore. That's why
yeah.
whoever steps up, they'll get theirs.
Yeah. Should be a good game, definitely. I'm sure everyone is already kind of waiting for that game since the Super Bowl, as we all knew it was coming again. But yeah, should be a good one. That wraps up our Week 11 predictions for this week. Um, Catch us on Instagram. We'll put our picks up there. Check our records out. I believe me and Jake are tied, and Bryson, the little engine that could, is still chugging, trying to close that gap. But yeah, check us out on Instagram. Check out our other videos. Like and subscribe to this video, and turn on that notification bells and get our upcoming videos. As always, catch you guys next time.
Shoots.
Shoots.
Shoots.